Here are some frequently asked questions I get about the Arise opportunity, and I wanted to make just one video. This won't focus on any one thing, so it might be a little bit, I won't say all over the place, but a variety of questions that I get quite a few times. And I wanted to make this video as a way to help everyone get the accurate information about this. Okay. What is this opportunity, quote unquote? This is a 1099 position for you to work specific contracts on the Arise platform. You decide which contract you want to work. You look through the requirements of that contract, and then you sign up for a training class. You complete the training and the certification, you proving out that you can do the work. And then from there, you will go and start in production, which will be you making your schedule and answering calls based on your availability. Okay. Let's see. One question I have here is this commission based? That comes up a lot. No, this is not commission based. Now, there are a couple of opportunities that you can earn an additional commission. This is on top of your base rate. Okay. But it's not a ton of contracts like that. A majority of the contracts are going to be customer service type calls, and you are paid an hourly rate for time you are logged into the system, and then you are paid out from there. When do you do the background check and the drug screening? All clients require a background check. Most are requiring a drug screening now as well. The great thing is that for the background check, once you do it the one time, you'll be able to do other contracts without having to repeat that background check. The drug screening may vary, it just depends on the client. Okay. If a program does require this, when you sign up for a contract to start a class, a training class, it is going to send you an email with instructions on how to complete that. It is nationwide. There will be a facility near you. There is a time frame where you have to get that completed. So those are the things to keep in mind. The cost of this is covered by the company. Next question, how do I select a training class? There is a video, I'll link it in the notes in the description. That video will walk through how to select the class, but essentially when you go into your portal, you will see your opportunities, and then you will be able to see an enroll or join now option, and that's when you select that. You will hear the term interval. The next question is, what is an interval? You will hear the term interval mentioned quite a bit. In a Rise, an interval is a 30-minute block of time. So when you hear us say 10 intervals, that's typically 5 hours. Okay. And honestly, it's used interchangeably. So it would be something that I would kind of just commit to memory. If you hear an interval, just know that's 30 minutes. When you're scheduling your time, you schedule in 30-minute blocks. Next question, what happens if I'm in breach of contract? When you sign your contract, you're an independent contractor. There are going to be expectations that as an agent you have to honor. If you are falling below your commitment adherence, meaning that you're not showing up for the times that you have scheduled, that can be a breach of contract. If you are missing on your metrics, meaning that your HT or your after call, these sort of metrics have to be within a certain parameter, it is possible to be considered in breach of contract. If you are doing anything against violating client policies, a RISE policy, our policy, that could put you in breach of contract. This is the thing to know. If you come, you do the work, you're doing the honest work, and you're not trying to manipulate the system, you're not going to find issues. Sometimes people are in different positions. Maybe they're signing up for hours and realizing they can't do it, but they're not releasing their hours. Maybe they're taking too long on the calls. There's going to be coaching in place to try to get you to where you need to be. So all the support systems are here. But after all that, you're not able to meet the contract requirements, that contract can be canceled. And something to keep in mind is that if your contract is canceled, you're going to find it very difficult to get another contract on the platform. All in all, the best approach is to only commit to opportunities you generally intend to complete. Is training hard? This comes up quite a bit. Training, I don't like to think of things as hard or easy. I do believe it's a bit fast paced. I send out emails to let agents know how to stay in front of everything because I've done this for over 10 years and I've been behind before, and it is really difficult to get back caught up. And sometimes, even when you get back caught up, you'll still feel behind. Also, there are assignments that you have to complete while in training. If you're too far behind on the assignments, you will also be dropped from training for that. So the best tip I can ever give my agents is stay ahead of the curve. If they have earlier sessions to log into all the systems, find an earlier session to go through before training even starts. Then you have flushed out all your issues. You can get into every system needed to work on that client. Any sort of assignments you see, go ahead and knock them out. The assignments themselves are just teaching you how to do the job, but they can stack up because there's so many assignments each day. And once again, we know we're all balancing various life requirements, various other responsibilities, and you don't want that to impede on your ability to complete training. So training isn't necessarily hard, but it does get more difficult if you underestimate the time required and the attention required to get through everything. What is the class deposit? There may or may not be a class deposit for the training. Typically, if there is, it's maybe $50. That is not a fee we charge. That's from the Arise platform. Typically, it is refundable. There is a link that goes through the details of it. There are two ways to get that deposit back. That is going to be canceling the class before a deadline or showing up to class. When you show up to class for that first day, you will get that deposit refunded back to the original form of payment. Okay. What is required to work a contract? You need a computer, you need high speed internet, you need to be hardwired to that internet, you need a USB headset, you need a quiet work environment. For training, you are absolutely going to need a webcam while you're on training. And then what's recommended is dual monitors. I recommend that because most clients, you're going to be working in multiple programs. It's a lot easier when you can go just from one screen, look over to the other screen. It'll make your servicing so much easier. Sometimes there's additional equipment, and each of the contracts, the opportunities, they will list what you need. Always just review everything, okay, before you move forward. Are there any benefits? One of the reasons that we always go through that this is an independent contractor position and not a W-2 position is because we don't operate in that same realm. And this would be one of the key differences. So there are no benefits as far as health insurance, paid vacation, or sick leave. You build your schedule. So if you want to take some time off, you would just not schedule any hours for that time. You like a long lunch, not schedule any hours for that time. As a contractor, you're responsible for how you handle your health insurance. So many agents really appreciate the flexibility of being able to choose when they work, where they work, and which opportunities they pursue. How much can I earn? The earnings vary based on the client and the pay rate and the hours you choose. Some people do this very part time. Some people do this and they make a full time income. How long does it take to get started? Every situation is different, but most people move through the process pretty quickly. You're going to have your computer scan and you're going to do an assessment. Once you've done those things, then you'll be able to go into the portal and choose which contract you want to work and sign up for class. And the only waiting period there is between that time you signed up and the time training class completes. Okay. And then the last question is training on the weekends? No, all of our trainings are Monday through Friday, and they do not include any holidays. So you always have, if there's a holiday that falls during training, you have that day off as well. And so there's no weekends. Every schedule is going to be on a Monday to Friday schedule. Okay. I hope this video answered some of the most common questions that I get about the platform. If you are interested in learning more, I will leave my email in the description below.